Hi, my name is Cara Merson. Last May, I had the privilege of traveling to Poland with 3 phenomenal Holocaust survivors. With them, I discovered the thriving Jewish life that existed in Europe until the rise of the Nazis and learned firsthand about the horrors that follow. The experience in Poland changed my perspective back at home, and I was inspired to volunteer as a guide at the Montreal Holocaust Museum. Today, I'm going to share an artifact from the section of the museum about life in the ghettos. When the Nazis invaded Poland on September 1st, 1939, 2.5 million Jews came under Nazi control. Discriminatory and dehumanizing measures were applied to the Polish Jews in a matter of weeks. The Jewish population, being contained in prison-like areas within cities called ghettos, was cut off from the world around it. The Lodz ghetto was established in February 1940, where 160,000 Jews were forced to relocate. In the ghetto, living conditions were deplorable. Meager rations, no heat, and overcrowded rooms meant starvation and disease were rampant. Many of those who were in the Lodz ghetto were subjected to forced labor. The Rosh Hashanah card from 1940 that we are looking at today is a white paper postcard measuring 4 by 6 inches. At the center is a black and white photograph of, from left, Mordechai Feigenbaum, his wife Minka, and his brother Avram. The photo is set in a Star of David. There is a dove on an olive branch in the lower right-hand corner and vines in the top left corner. Above that it says Litzmannstadt, the German name the Nazis gave to Lodz. The card was donated to the museum by Avram Feigenbaum. Avram was born in 1919 and he was the youngest of 5 children. His mother was a wig maker and his father a cabinet maker. Avram was an active socialist in the Labor Bund, and in the ghetto, Avram first worked producing bomb boxes and then making furniture for the Nazis. His furniture was used for bribing German officials to keep the ghetto open. I chose to present this Rosh Hashanah card with its photo because to me it exemplifies the flame of the Jewish spirit being kept alive in the Polish ghettos. In the ghetto, taking photographs was illegal and dangerous because the Nazis didn't want their treatment of the Jews to be documented. If the Nazis ever found the photo, the photographer and the subjects would be murdered. Despite the starvation and disease, the Jews in the ghettos persisted and found ways to celebrate life creatively. Documenting their everyday lives in the ghetto, no matter what the consequences, is an act of spiritual resistance. Though Avram and his family did not resist with weapons, they defied the Nazis by posing in this photograph, leaving behind a precious record of ghetto life for future generations. In February 1941, Avram's father died of starvation, and his mother, sister, and her husband were deported from the ghetto. Avram, Minka, Mordechai, and their brother Hirsch were sent to Auschwitz in 1944. Minka is thought to have been murdered in Auschwitz-Birkenau. The 3 brothers were transferred to Gross Rosen in Germany, where they were slave laborers in a factory producing armored vehicles for the Nazis. Avram and Hirsch are the only members of their family of 7 to survive the Holocaust. Avram reflected on the end of the war as follows: I am proud to say we came out from the ghettos and camps not as a liberated people, but as a proud people with dignity. We were not dehumanized. We retained our humanity, and today we remind the world that tomorrow it can happen again. Avram was an activist and a fighter. He and his wife Tola, also a Holocaust survivor, were granted political refugee status, which allowed them to immigrate to Canada in 1950. They settled here in Montreal. Avram became involved with the Montreal Holocaust Museum in the 1980s. We are so lucky to have the Feigenbaum family's very special Rosh Hashanah card as part of the collection at the museum. Stay tuned as we continue to share more objects from our permanent exhibition over the coming weeks. Thank you.